Hi, Hobby Fam. You are in for a very special treat today. We have a very special guest. This is Kate. Kate, who is a cast member on our channel and a very good friend of mine. Kate, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. We are doing a couple things. We're popping Kate's mini painting cherry. She's never painted a mini before, and she's doing it live on stream. So she's popping that cherry too.
There's a lot of cherries.
Yeah. Good thing you have more than one. But yeah, we're pretty excited. So Kate, the models we're working with today, they are horror themed. Why is that?
Because Megan and I, as some or none of you may know, host a podcast together called Not Quite Dead. And it's all about reviewing and talking about horror movies.
That's right. Yeah. So Kate and I work together. We worked together in the past. We work together on our podcast now. And Kate is also a writer for the channel. What do we call them? Skit. The skit yesterday, the intro yesterday was written by Kate, actually. Yeah. And performed by our cast. So who is on your mini? Let's take a look. Yeah. What's going on here?
This is Jack Torrance from my all-time favorite horror movie, The Shining. So he's got his little axe, he's got his plaid shirt, and a nice mean look on his face.
Yeah. My model is Beetlejuice, so I'm going to be working on him. My focus is going to be like on stripes, and I don't know, he's got that great green hair. But so Kate, you've never done this before.
No.
And so we're going to go easy on Kate. We have zenithalled the miniatures, and we'll talk about that because I know that's a new word for you. But we've zenithalled the miniatures. We have a ton of contrast paints out for Kate to use, and we're going to do this slap chop style. Have you ever heard that term before?
I have. I think every other word that you've said I have not heard before. So
yeah, so we'll talk about that. What's nice about this method, we'll take a look again for Kate. What's nice about this method is we already have our highlights and our shadows defined. And so Kate, you're just going to be painting the colors over it, and your tones will already be mapped out. You don't have to think too hard about like, is this a dark area? Is this a light area? Because the zenithal, this is like what's called a zenithal setup, which is like primed black, and your like highlights are caught by an airbrush, right?
Great.
So like what Zach did, Zach helped me prep this. What he did was prime the black, and then you spray, pick a light source angle, and then you spray with white, and that all of the surfaces that catch the white would basically be the light surfaces, and they call this a zenithal prime, zenithal setup. So we're keeping it easy on you today.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
I love it.
Great. And also, guys, if you haven't done this yet, make sure that you love and subscribe our channel, especially because this is birthday month. Yeah, we have a bunch of fun stuff coming up. Obviously, we have some guests coming up this month. We have some special birthday segments where we get to look back at everything great that has happened over the last year. I don't know if you guys realized that we started in June. I think a lot of people might have thought we started in July, but it was actually the end of June. So we've hit a year.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for the party lights. Thank you,
Whoa.
Soups, who gifted 5 memberships. So Orange Justice. Oh, we know this guy. He's in Hobby Hang a lot. Joshua Brown Cow, actually named Magnus, Lucas I.O., and Cap'n Chaos. Welcome to the channel. Hope you guys enjoy. Cool. So we can just get started, Kate.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
And while you're painting, so you guys, we have a very important poll up, like all of our polls, it's very important. And I'm going to end it because we have another poll to throw up. These are very important. We need you to take special consideration into our polls today. Make sure you vote. We're conducting a lot of research on you guys. But I'm ending this one. Our verb that you guys went with is 8.
Good.
Yeah. We like
That was my favorite of the options.
Right. That was my favorite word of the 4 that we're showing. Okay, we're going to get another poll started, and then I'm going to jump into painting. And pretty soon, we're going to get into memes. We do have memes.
Ooh, there's so many fun segments. We love a segment on the podcast, and so when Megan told me about all of the segments we were going to have for you guys today, I was pretty excited That way there's something besides just me learning
Just
how
you.
to paint. Yeah, right.
Yeah, let's put the camera on you so we can watch you work.
Okay.
So tell the audience what you're working on right now?
Okay, so I'm using this kind of dark denim-y blue to work on his shirt right now, and I think my paintbrush is too big. But Megan told me, I'm trying
This
to
is
be
my fault.
trying to be a good listener today. Megan told me that you should start with the biggest brush possible, and she didn't have a paint roller, so we're using this guy.
Okay, but to be fair, I said the biggest brush you're comfortable with.
Okay, yeah.
So if you're not comfortable with that brush, feel free to choose another one. But I mean, it's going okay.
Yeah, it's going okay. I think that the prep work that you guys did for me was really nice. I appreciate it a lot. I'm going to just put down the base color for this shirt first and then move on to some other areas before I even consider attempting doing plaid. Like, because his shirt is plaid and there's going to be the tiniest little stripes, and I'm not ready.
Yeah, save that for last.
I need to warm up a little bit first.
Thank you for the hearts. Guys, hearts are a great way to show your support, and it costs you nothing. We love them. Okay, we have a super chat from Soups. We know this guy. Soups, thank you for your super chat. Welcome, Kate. Got some newcomer hobby tips to help you out. Thank you for the hearts. If any bristles come loose from your brush, don't worry. You can just glue them back in.
Is that a real
What do you think about that?
Gluing bristles back in, I feel like it's a trick. Why would you do that? It seems unnecessary.
Yeah. Soups is known to be a fiend, so I wouldn't trust him.
Okay.
No, this is a terrible tip.
Terrible tip.
It's a terrible tip.
Great.
Don't do it. But thank you for the party lights anyway, Soups.
Yay.
Yeah.
I am so trusting
Me too.
that you're gonna tell us stuff in chat, and I'm gonna go, oh, I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you could glue bristles back in to your brush. That's interesting.
Yeah. You just get the stickiest glue you can find. Actually, spit will work. No, you can't. Basically, what happens when your brushes start getting messed up is you move them to your shit brush cup, and you use them for things like glue.
Did you say brush cup? What kind of brush cup did you say?
Like, this is my brush cup. Like, I keep my
okay.
brushes in a cup.
Okay.
Or, you know, like, the cup is not the important part of this sentence, Kate.
I'm like, what are you saying?
The important part is that they are shit and that they live together. But yeah, you move them to your like bad brush collection and use them for bad things until the bristles completely fall out. So a lot of times that'll be like dry brushing. These are dry brushes. You can see like the bristles are short, and so they'll just catch the edges of things.
Oh, nice.
Another thing is like glue. If you're using like Elmer's glue or something, they're good for that kind of thing. But yeah, there's no way to save a brush that has lost its bristles. It just is what it is.
I am getting...
Thanks, Soups, you maniac. All right.
Yeah, any tips are great. I'm gonna move on to this red. I'm trying to mix a lot of browns into here because this is very like 70s muted kind of tones, and so nothing's going to be too vibrant on this model. And I do a tiny bit of painting on my own in hobbying, but I do watercolors, and so I'd like to think that I'm not like a total noob here, but I'm essentially a total noob. I'm getting paint everywhere that I don't want paint right now.
That's okay.
Like I've got like blue like coming up onto his neck and onto the jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Not exactly what I was looking for, but that's okay.
I'm going to add a little bit more white into his face, and I immediately put down yellow where I didn't, like, I put down yellow and I was like, oh, actually I need to do something else first. It's okay. Like, I'm going to paint over it and it'll be fine. I think that gets scary for people who are just starting. You like don't know what's okay to mess up on.
Right.
You know, like what's fixable, and everything seems like it's not fixable because you don't know how it works. But like mini painting is very different than crafting, right? It's not the same at all. Like this is so tiny, right? Like that's not comfortable.
The level of detail work here is already, you know, however many minutes, like 10 minutes into stream, is giving me a lot of respect for the painting that I see you guys put up on the Discord, because this is so finicky and all I'm doing is putting down like a red base right now.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure everybody watching appreciates that. It's not every day that nerds get appreciated for the things they're good at. But you're right.
I have a lot of respect for the artistry that goes in here, because it's a lot of time, right? I think that's something that I am guilty of is rushing.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So I'm gonna really try and like take my time with this, because I want it to look good, for one thing, but also because it's so small, I feel like I can't just throw down paint without getting it everywhere that I don't want it to be.
Sure. So I made a mistake just right now. What happened was, we'll see how it goes, but his eye socket flooded with white because I'm trying to brighten up his face more. That's why I was like, oh, whoops, I didn't mean to put the yellow down yet. Anyway, and so like what I'm doing to fix that, Kate, is I take a smaller brush, get water on it, and you can use the water to pull the paint out of where it shouldn't be. So it sort of acts as an eraser. So you can see like I was able to pull it out of his eye socket.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So sometimes it's helpful to keep like a small brush off to the side with some water in it, so that if you do something like that, you can immediately just like grab it really quick and fix.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. In order to get like good saturation of color, like this isn't going on quite as maybe saturated as I'd want it to. Do you just do layers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You can do layers. That's a good call out about these types of paints. So contrasts, right? They're thin, like they're
really
transparent.
thin. Yeah.
So you're not going to, it's not opaque. You're not going to be able to build up as easily, like to cover things. For that, you would want to grab some of the other paints we have. Like we have layer paints that are opaque, and you can just like cover up your mistake and start over. Yeah. These don't really work the same way, which is okay. What we can do if we need to is just paint over a piece white, and then you can start over from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad. It's just interesting because it is, a lot.
It's a different
thinner,
problem.
Yeah. Than I expected it to be.
The other thing that's good to remember about painting with contrasts, when you move from one color to the next, you want to make sure your first color is dry. Because otherwise, you're going to mix.
When you're layering.
Yeah, as you're layering.
Yeah.
And as this paint dries, it'll change from wet to dry, so it becomes tacky for a little bit. Like the consistency of it will change. And so if you start screwing with it while it's in that weird consistency,
like, pick up the paint,
it'll do weird things that you don't like. Yeah. Okay. So it's okay. Like if you need to, like set it down. You could blow on it, give it a second, read chat, whatever, and like then come back to it. That's totally fine. Or move on to a different piece that's not touching the wet parts.
Okay.
Molecule, thank you for your super chat. Soups is a solid guy who's never lied in his life. Okay.
Sure.
Maybe.
Sure, Jan.
Thanks, Molecule. We appreciate you. Molecule hangs out with us a lot in our hobby chat room, and he's always here spreading happiness and joy. Okay, Kate, we're ready for the next segment, which is memes.
Yeah, ooh, memes. Okay, great.
And I'm kind of hoping that they make no sense to you.
I'm sure they won't.
Yeah. So go ahead. Here's a meme. What do you think of it?
When there's a memes review and none of my memes are in it, and I took that personally. I mean, isn't self-explanatory?
It is pretty this one's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Of course, this is Soy Sumer.
Soy Sumer.
And he joined our Discord and was like, hey, can I post memes? Because I got kicked out of another Discord for posting too many memes.
Too many memes.
And I was like, how is there such a thing as too many memes?
I know. Most Discords have like a meme channel. So
we do.
Yeah.
We do have a meme channel. If you're not in our Discord, you should join it so you can post more memes like Soy so that we don't show on the show. Yeah, we had like memes last week. We do memes every Sunday, and I was like, I picked the memes and I didn't pick any of Soy's. It just works out that way sometimes, Soy. Maybe I don't get the joke. But I thought we would highlight the fact that we don't share any of Soy's memes in today's meme segment.
Yeah.
Sorry, Soy, but here you go. This may not mean anything to you. This is from Soups, by the way, the guy we can't trust.
This means nothing.
It means nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. The Discord lore is deep, and I am not.
Yeah. So this,
not versed.
This dude is Matt Rose. Matt Rose is like the patron saint of Age of Sigmar, which is the game we play on our show. And Montana is shaped like his face. That's it. That's all there is.
Oh, great. Good
So
for him and good for Montana.
Yeah. Oh, happy cake day, Jules. The end of Empires. Happy birthday to you
Yay.
too. Yeah, that's right. It's also Pride Month.
Yay.
I keep
Happy
forgetting
Pride
about that. Yeah, like
Month.
I love all the
Yeah.
colors, right? Like this month is very colorful.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Matt Rose. His name may come up again today. There he is again.
Oh, Matt Rose.
Tell me about this meme.
This meme is Megan doing what she does best.
What is that?
We'll call it being silly on camera.
Okay. We'll call it being silly. I was just being silly. Yeah, last Tuesday I was on a Twitch stream, and let me tell you, Twitch is weird. I don't know how I feel about Twitch. Do you use Twitch, Kate?
No, I've never used it. I've never watched a Twitch stream. It's just an area of the internet that's kind of
An anomaly.
a black hole for me.
We're like two old millennials.
Well, I am not. I know that there's more than just gaming streams on Twitch,
Yeah.
but it's just not like an area of interest for me, so I haven't really checked it out. I know people who have done Twitch streams, or worked with people who've done Twitch streams, and it seems cool. I know you were on one, and it was a very different experience than what you're usually used to.
It was.
Yeah.
It was fun though. So this was with Hobby Vices and the Lonely Havoc on Instagram. You can find them on Instagram also. And yeah, they just approached me and were like, hey, we know Angela. Angela was a guest we had on our stream a while back from Hobby Night. And we just, would you like to do our show? And it's an hour hangout where you do a speed paint. So you literally just have that hour to paint. And while they're doing this to you, while you're painting within that time frame, they are, the chat is giving you challenges to do, like to interrupt your flow.
Oh,
right?
wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And so at some point, they asked me to do squats. And apparently I have terrible squat form.
Wait, that's your squad.
Leave me alone. Wow. Yeah, I'm not twerking. I can't do that either, guys. This is me trying to do a squat. I did fix my squat form post. I watched the stream and I was like, okay, it's not good. I guess I don't know what I'm doing. Now I want to make you do a squat.
You're going to learn, Megan, that I'm a poor sport.
I'm not going to ask. But yeah, apparently this is what I would do to get free Warhammer stuff from Matt Rose. Matt Rose, please send us free stuff. We love you.
Funny.
Okay.
Okay, more memes.
More memes. Kate, you have Nuln Oil in front of you today. There's Nuln Oil.
Yay, I have Nuln Oil. And
What does that mean to you?
I'm going to assume that it's the best and you put it on everything.
Yeah.
Because that's the meme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. See, the meme was educational.
Yeah. Okay,
That's
so
why
what
we include them.
is it just like a really good like shading color? Like why
I mean,
Nuln Oil?
it's black.
Oh, okay.
So
Sure.
yeah, you throw it on everything and it like immediately shades everything for you.
Perfect.
Right. Like if you're new to painting or you're trying to just get through something, like you're not worried about competing with a piece, like you can just slap some Nuln Oil on and it goes into the recesses really nice and
nice.
defines your shadows really well. So it's a good place to start. If you're not comfortable with like color theory and stuff like that, it's totally fair. And what do we call it? We refer to it as like, same thing with Saray and matte varnish. What do we refer to this thing as? I don't know. It's just like, it's like magic, right? Because it just makes everything look
Right,
better.
yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember like what term we use.
Look good juice.
Something like, yeah, look good juice. Yeah. Cool. So how's your piece going, Kate? Those were the memes. Thanks guys
Those
for
are
the
the
laughs.
memes.
Yeah.
It's going okay.
All right, let's take a look.
Yeah, you're gonna take a look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's a little rough and ready so far.
It's all right. We like
Working
it rough.
working on the jacket. I decided I wanted to just put down like a very thin layer on the shirt and come back to it later. So I'm just working on this jacket.
Yeah.
And just really trying to build up that paint because, like you said, it's really, really thin, kind of transparent. And so just working on kind of getting that red tone like really into all of these nooks and crannies.
Yeah.
Painting models is so 3D, which sounds funny to say, but I'm used to working on paper. And so
Right.
it's a very different medium because I'm trying to rotate it, make sure I'm getting all of the parts. Like there's this little tiny little section right in here on the inside of his arm that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just have to shove my brush in there to make sure I get it.
Don't feel bad if you need to switch. We have a 1 here that's a little bit smaller. That might be good for you too next when you're
Yeah,
ready to
thanks.
downgrade the
Yes,
size.
still like putting down this red, but as soon as I am ready to move on from that, I am going to switch to a detailed brush just to make sure I can really get in there and get some good paint coverage going.
Yeah. Hey, Rudy, thank you for the 5 memberships. Lucas Hahn. Garrett Thomas, we know Tom. He's down at Small Town Throwdown this weekend along with Zach. C. Sakaran, Gabriel Pacheco, 1001st. Dusty Boy, welcome to the club. We did end the last poll. Chat went with blood.
That checks out.
Yeah, it does check out with this chat. They're
Yeah.
Fiends.
Beans.
So we are putting up the next poll. Get ready to vote. It's very important, just like all of our polls.
Yeah, none of them are more or less important than others. They're all extremely important.
There we go, guys. Get going, because I'm going to have to end it soon. I'm a little behind. Get to voting. Rudy is awesome. Rudy sends us stuff all the time. And we don't have your new boxes. Rudy, I'm without a car this weekend. So I'm not going to make it to the mail until Zach gets back. But we really appreciate all the stuff you send us in, all the hobby supplies. Oh, there's 2 cats in here. Kate, do you mind if I get up to remove the cats?
As long as you come back.
I just never come back. Kate, you're on your own. All right, Joplin, let's go. Come on.
Oh my gosh, this Megan's hurting cats.
Yeah. Although he knew what he wanted, so he went straight to the door. Okay. Rudy, party lights, thank you. Hey, Hobby Collab fam, and welcome, Kate. I have been fearful in using my airbrush that I've owned for 2 years. I'm currently taking apart my airbrush to learn more about it. Learning new skills with friends is both therapeutic and rewarding.
Aw, that is so true. I find the painting that I typically do, and even this right now, is very meditative. It's channeling your focus really onto one item and just putting a lot of care and time into it. So really, I find painting to be a very, very nice hobby for that reason.
Yeah.
And it's nice to do it with friends. I love hobbying with friends.
Yeah. I mean, that was a big concept when we started the channel that we wanted to drive forward. Is like, we're doing this together. You don't have to be alone while you're doing this. It's okay if you... We also like do it live so you can see our struggles when they come up. It's totally fine to struggle and to make mistakes and do better the next time. They can't all be winners. But yeah, I completely agree with that sentiment. And I hear you, Rudy. Like, I struggle with my airbrush. I take a lot of airbrush classes because I'm like, okay, if I take more classes, I'll get more comfortable. It'll force me to practice. When I come home, it's like a different story. I'm like, ugh, now I have to think about cleaning this, and it's not as easy as just like dipping your paint in water, but man, is an airbrush nice because it's nice and fast, right? It's very efficient. It's a very efficient tool.
I really like the effects that you get with airbrush too. I haven't worked with it before, but I've seen, airbrushing on the models and stuff, and I feel like you get just some really beautiful like ombre effects or some nice like undertones when you're doing a lot of airbrushing that can be a little bit harder to do when you're working with brushes.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think having like a good amount of painting skills in your tool belt, so to speak, is only gonna like help your painting process, right?
For sure. Yeah, and I'm working on a like a dinosaur project. There's an army that is made up of pretty much just dinosaurs, lizards, that kind of thing. And I have a ton of models that I need to get through real quick. So I'm going to do a big like airbrushing day and get through like 75% of it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And that's what it's good for. So I do need to practice more with my airbrush. Okay. So I'm doing this thing with Beetlejuice. Let me pull up my picture that I'm following. We'll see how it goes. I'm kind of just trying to figure this out on the fly. I may not like it, but there's this shot of him in this like purple and yellow lighting. And so I'm trying to set that up here. Then I'm going to come back in to do the stripes and actual colors in a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, showing fam. Soups. Thank you, Rudy, again for all of your support. And what a nice comment. Soups. And here we go. Get ready. Tip time, if you've run out of varnish, which is something Kate hasn't used yet, you can dip your models in vodka to protect them instead. Bourbon also gives you a fun brown tint. Thank you for the hearts, guys.
Yay.
Love that.
Some more anti-tips from Soups, I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
anti-tips.
Yeah.
Right. We're just going to leave it there. Guys, we're going to end this poll soon. So vote. Hurry up. Do it. Hurry up.
This is the only vote that matters.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's Liberty Fries. Hi, enemies. Yeah. Hi, Liberty Fries. Yeah, varnish is what you would put on at the end to protect your models, or not even necessarily at the end. There's other uses for it, but in general, that's like a typical use for varnish. So you wouldn't want to dip your...
Like a sealant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the most part, yeah. It also just like unifies the finish of your models.
Sure.
So like you're going to notice that these dry glossy. They might look glossy when you're done, especially the shades. So the contrast maybe not, but if there's shades in here, they might dry shiny. So if you matte varnish, it makes your whole piece look matte.
Okay, that's
so
nice.
you don't have to worry about that shiny look.
That's a nice tip.
Okay. So I'm having this issue. So not an issue per se, but I have black and white stripes on Beetlejuice. But since there's shading going on, I want to mix the white up with the color of the shadow, which is purple in my case. So I'm going to be mixing my contrast. I'm cheating, right? I'm not just doing slap chop. I'll be mixing my contrast with white, but in a little bit, because I want to lay some more colors down. All right, guys, we're going to end this poll. Get ready, because we need to do the next one.
Oh, Creamed is in the lead.
Oh, man.
Could have guessed that.
Yeah, shocker. These guys are fiends. Oh, boy. All right, while Kate's painting, I'm going to throw up the next poll for you guys. And in a little bit, we're going to have some other things to discuss. Yeah.
Ominous.
Very ominous. Kate, this is your favorite scary movie, right? The Shining?
Yes.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Oh, man. Love Stanley Kubrick. I love 70s horror. Like, I love all horror genres. We've covered so many on the podcast, you know, like folk horror, psychological horror, slashers, all kinds of stuff. And I just really, really love psychological horror. I think that it works for me in a way that slashers and some of the more gory stuff does not. I just don't find them to be very scary. It's hard for me to suspend my disbelief. But The Shining, this guy who's already got some issues to say.
Got a new poll up.
Yeah, vote. Then having to deal with, you know, isolation, you know, stunted ambition, some supernatural elements already at play too. It's just so bizarre and eerie and unsettling, and I love it. It's been a bit since I've watched it, but I had a long period of time where I would watch it like constant. I was watching it all the time, just because I found it very like comforting at like a point where you watch a movie so many times that you're just so comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And that's that movie for me. There's a lot of other horror movies that I really, really love, but this is one I just always come back to.
I love The Shining, and I love Cy King, of course, but I completely disagree with his take on the interpretation of the book. Like, not like, oh, it's your book, dude. Like, you can like whatever you like. But I'm like, this is a totally valid and enjoyable interpretation of this story.
Yeah.
It's not the story.
Yeah.
But it's super good to watch.
Yeah.
It's crazy that his name isn't attached to it when I think of some of the other nonsense his name is attached to.
Right.
That is what I mean. Yeah.
It's so funny. So I live in Colorado, and I'm pretty close to the Stanley, which is what Stephen King based The Overlook on. So I've done the tour. I've done all of that. And gotten to see it, and it's really cool to see where the original inspiration came from. I am not an adaptation purist by any means. I think that a medium can be perfect for one type of story, like, you know, Stephen King's novel. Adapting it to film, I think that that's where, okay, you've got a new auteur in place. You've got Stanley Kubrick, who has his own interpretation of the source material and his own way to kind of bring that to life. And I think that both can live separately, side by side. I saw the chat about the Simpsons parody, and I think that once something enters like pop culture, like satire, that just makes it better, because it means that like all of us are in on the joke, and there's a lot of people that love it. So that I kind of think it makes it better. I always like it when there's more attention. I'm like anti-gatekeeping. I think it's fun when there's a lot of attention or media out around a subject.
So you're not a grognard about film adaptations?
I don't know what that is, but based on just what those syllables sound like, absolutely not.
Guys, tell Kate what a grognard is. It's usually somebody who is anti-change, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
There's a certain way of doing something.
Yeah.
And if you deviate from it, you're not doing it right. And there's
so
there's
they're
rules
like
about
a
this.
conservatist.
Or like, you know, these games that we play, like the Games Workshop games, go through iterations. They go through changes, like to keep it fresh, to like, with like what people are into at the time, or like, hey, we want to rethink the game. We want to make sure it's balanced, like things they don't catch while they're play testing, yada yada. And so you go through versions of the game, and you get people who learned it from version 1 to whatever the version was, right? When they picked it up, and now it's at version 10 or something, and it's like, well, I don't like this game anymore, so I'm going to keep playing it like this old version. And you kind of like, you know, you're a grognard.
I think that there's some like value to saying, oh, I really liked this rule or this element of earlier versions, and I wish that carried forward, because we're losing, you know, XYZ element to the game when we don't have that included. But I mean, I think that change is good. I think that just assuming that
inevitable.
And inevitable, yeah, because you're going to have new people coming into whatever field, I mean, maybe it's, Warhammer, but like any field, right? You're going to have new people, new experiences coming in. So there's going to just be a natural evolution. And I think being overly resistant to it is just going to make you miserable. It's not going to be a good time for anybody.
Well, not if you find your other grognard friends. You hang out with them and just be grognards together.
Oh, man.
I'm trying to think, what are we grognards about?
I love being a hater sometimes, so I will
I know.
say, yeah.
We all do it. Hey, Leah, we met Leah yesterday.
Yay.
Thanks for your support.
Hi,
Hi, Kate. Love the model choices you guys picked out for today. So good. Yeah, we were kind of just talking about Kate's favorite movie. She's painting Jack from The Shining. Yeah, and I'm doing Beetlejuice. Why did I pick Beetlejuice? I actually didn't really care what I picked, I think. I wanted to, there's like a set. You can get these on Etsy from STL Print Shop, and they sell them in groups. So I just wanted to pick one from the group that had The Shining, because I knew Kate wanted that. But I love Beetlejuice. Like, Beetlejuice is, it's
fun.
Such a good movie.
It's so fun. It's like campy. It's really good Tim Burton. Like maybe
OG
peak
Tim Burton. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really hoping that he can carry that energy through on Beetlejuice, the sequel, which is coming out soon.
Very excited
about
about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we covered Beetlejuice on the pod a couple seasons back.
We did. Yeah. That was a fun episode. I always like when we do a movie that we both love, because we just gush the whole time.
I know. We're
big gushers.
I was about to say that.
Hey, Jason. Jason Burke is in chat. He's somebody that we have streamed with also. Yeah, we're going to be on his podcast soon. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, Jason hosts a podcast called Hemispheric Views with two co-hosts. They talk about tech, but also like culture, lifestyle, food. Jason's in the Northern Hemisphere, and the other two hosts are in the Southern Hemisphere, so a lot of kind of that cultural exchange, and it's just like a really fun hangout podcast.
Yeah.
So like definitely go check it out. But Megan and I will be guesting on that soon, so we'll do a little bit of promo around that on our Not Quite Dead channels if you're following them.
Yeah. So thanks for joining in, Jason. I think it's almost time to end this poll, gang.
Yeah.
That's how quickly these are going. So if you haven't voted yet, let's see. I see 22 votes. It looks like most people have voted. So I'm going to end this pretty soon. Oh my gosh, Kate, I may not finish this today. How are you doing?
We're 40 minutes in and I've only done the jacket.
That's okay.
Like,
That's okay.
I don't think I'm going to finish.
We don't always finish stuff on this stream. A lot of times, I just don't get to finish.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
Mostly for you.
Yeah, mostly for me. A little bit for chat. I want a brown here. Okay.
Yeah, there's some right there.
There's one.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the pants, because you did say that.
All right.
I mean, time is just moving so
That's
quickly.
okay. I'm going to put the camera on you while I end this poll. You guys went with yogurt. You guys wanted yogurt. Nobody voted for spit. Good job, guys. Spit's kind of gross.
Yeah. Oh, backdoor was really tight.
Backdoor was getting there, yeah.
Okay, let's see. Okay. Oh. Okay, so I was doing a little bit of paint blending and prep, and I'm actually pretty happy with how this color is coming out. As I mentioned, this is Jack Torrance, and I really wanted to have more kind of muted colors because I feel like everything was
Thanks
like...
for the eyes, guys. Sorry, go ahead, Kate.
No, everything was a little... I don't know how any of this works, Megan. I don't know what's happening. Yeah, wanted everything to be a little bit muted, but it is interesting how much you have to build up, like you said.
Yeah, and if you need to go in and add some white, like, because it's not bright enough, you can just like paint in some white and then let it dry and put your wash or your shade or your contrast over that.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to avoid getting too much. Right now, I think my issue is that I'm maybe pulling in a little bit too much water from this wet pad. So I am going to add some more paint.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. A little bit of blue.
All right, new poll is up, guys. Like all of our polls, it's very important, especially today. My goodness. So Beetlejuice is great, but it is not my favorite horror movie of all time. As you know.
I know.
We've talked about this many times.
Yeah.
But my favorite horror movie of all time is The Thing.
It's so good.
Yeah, I can't get over it.
We just played a board game yesterday.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's a riff on the thing.
Yeah, it was called it's Final Girl.
Final Girl.
But it takes place in the game is interesting.
Yeah, so there's a base game that you buy, and then in order to actually play the game, you buy these separate packs that then give you a monster or a villain and a location. And it seems like you can mix and match them. We just did yesterday, I think it was...
The Organism.
The Organism is what it's called.
Yeah.
And so we did that one. And it's a riff on the thing, and it was really fun.
It was good. It's one of these games where it's you versus the game. And so Kate and I were playing it together against the game. And I was like, oh, I wouldn't want to play this without another person. Like, it's nice to just sit and gab during the game. Like, we're not getting our own turns per se, but we're hanging out and like, what should we do? And
Yeah, I liked being able to turn it into a two-player game.
Yeah.
We have actually played the Thing board game
Yeah.
together, too. I see on chat.
Yeah, Caldorf, good call out. I own that. I don't like playing that game unless there are 8 people. Like, I feel like it needs to be...
It's a good party game because, like, you want more characters to be able to do the exploration and also the testing. But that's actually really fun and, like, really well-built board game.
Yeah, it's kind of like Among Us, right? You're trying to find whoever is not...
infected. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Oh.
Liberty Fries, we're going to get to your super chat soon. It's a good one.
It's a good one, yeah.
Yeah. Caldorf in Final Girl, no. Yes, there are, like, victims you're supposed to corral into the helicopter. And there are, like, set up victims who potentially are infected. And so, like, you have to figure out if they are the organism or not. And if they're infected, you have to kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm looking at his stripes really quick. And then we're going to talk some horror movie tropes. Thank you for the party lights, Liberty Fries. We will get to this soon. Don't worry.
Oh my gosh, Megan's our timekeeper here.
Yeah, I'm like, we don't have time to mess around. Interesting. Okay. So I'm painting in these like black stripes and obviously going over the work I did setting up lighting. So I might go back in and paint some white over that so I can add the yellow back, like go back and forth, back and forth.
Freehanding stripes is pretty wild, but you're so good at painting.
Well, that's very nice of you. But to be fair, Kate, I do have a bowling bumper equivalent. They are raised stripes, which is helpful.
Yeah, super helpful.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to switch to a smaller brush. This is
yeah.
So
I was waiting to see like what it was gonna take. Like when is Kate gonna?
It's the cuffs on these jeans.
She's
like,
a known stickler.
I am a stickler.
Yeah, she's very stubborn. So I was like, I'm not gonna tell Kate when to switch. She'll figure it out.
I am working on it, but I don't take feedback very well. So
yeah.
That's why you'll never see me posting in Hobby Critiques.
In Hobby Critiques, right. Our Hobby Critiques channel is in our Discord, and that's where you go to get real constructive feedback on your models. Our other channels, and we'll talk about this when we do fan stuff at the end, those are for you to like, for us to gush, let's
Oh.
say again, right?
Yeah,
Over your work.
Just a lot of gushing happening.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I like had way too much water in my paint and I got blue all over his shoe.
Okay, so
and the base.
let's do the eraser method.
Okay,
And just take this wet brush
just a wet
and
brush.
wipe it away.
Okay.
And you don't need too much water, but like, just wipe it off of where you don't want it.
Oh yeah. So you can see I just like totally like over saturated this like blue paint on this pant leg, and so it just got way too wet.
It happens.
Yeah, I just got blue everywhere, so I'm just gonna try.
You blew yourself?
I did blue myself. So I just gotta soak this up a little bit. Oh, this method's really nice. That's cool.
Great. I'm glad that worked out.
Nice.
Okay. Let's pull up our discussion topic for the day, because that's the thing that we need to do. That's why. Where are we at with this poll also? What time is it? Let's end this poll really quick. And I'm going to put up the next poll. We got 18 votes. And you guys went with old.
Old.
All right.
It's so old.
It's so old. Hi, John Havman. Good to see you. We are doing some figures we got off Etsy, so I'll show mine. Kate is working on Jack Torrance from The Shining, and I'm working on Beetlejuice from Beetlejuice. Nick on Nights, welcome to the club. Thank you, Chris, for your gifted membership. Okay, I'm going to put up the next poll, and then we will jump into our topic, and then we will answer Liberty Fries' question. Let's see.
I like having an itinerary.
Isn't it great?
It's nice.
It's like, oh, I don't have to think.
Hate thinking.
I hate it. All right, here we go.
I'm going to spend the next 20 minutes just picking up all this blue I got all over. Actually, this is working really well, though.
Okay, great. Oops.
Oops.
I'm going to end this poll really fast because I hit enter before, don't vote, before I could get all of the options in. My bad. I'm a good host.
Megan's the best host.
How's it going?
Oh, it's good. I just accidentally painted, or I put down some color on an area that is his shirt, not his pants. So I'm going to have to go over that in a minute after it dries.
All right, there we go. Choose a noun, guys. Choose a noun. And while you guys are voting, let's talk about horror movie tropes.
Yay!
Yeah. And our thoughts on them, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And maybe chat's thoughts on them.
Yeah. Your guys' thoughts.
Yeah. So Final Girl is obviously our top one. We talked about the game Final Girl because we played it yesterday. You are the final girl in that game.
Yes.
And so you're not considered a victim, right? Like there's like actions in that game that go after the victims, but not you because you're not one.
Yep.
You're trying to rescue them. And that's part of the trope, right?
Yeah.
You have that plot armor.
Yeah, total plot armor. If you're a final girl, you're probably one of the more like innocent girls, especially if you're looking at like old school slasher movies. But it's a trope that's been around for a long time. I think like Laurie in the Halloween movies is like one of the first ones. There's usually, after the killer's done killing everybody, there's just like either the girl left and the killer is still alive, or she's managed to kill the killer. And it's pretty satisfying. I'm always happy to see, women make it to the end.
Yeah. As girls, we enjoy final girls.
Yeah.
Sigourney is a famous final girl. Like, she's so final, she even comes back from the freaking dead to continue being the final girl.
I love that they bring her into the Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
great. Highly recommend that movie. I won't spoil more.
A lot of our followers like Cabin in the Woods.
It's
Yeah.
such a good movie. I love the subversion of all the tropes in that one. But yeah, it's nice that Sigourney gets her moment at the end there in that one. Who else is good? I love Sydney in the Scream movies.
Yeah. I mean, Scream is all about calling this stuff out, right? Don't they also say in Scream that the final girl is always a virgin?
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
I think it's not entirely accurate. I think that they're trying to get to some level of moral purity or innocence around the final girl. Like, oh, she's surviving because she is our moral example. She's not like the stoner or the like other character. But I think that it's not. I don't think it's necessary. I think it's more just like taking a character that would maybe be stereotypically considered to be weak, and then giving them the opportunity to fight back. And that's always like a really nice dichotomy in movies. I think we like seeing the underdog win.
Yeah. I don't know how many of you guys saw the it was a sequel to Evil Dead, right? Evil Dead Rises. It came out last year. Is that right? Yeah. And that has a final girl. It has 2 final girls.
Yeah.
And I don't think either of them, well, one was a virgin, I guess. Because it was a tiny girl. Yeah, let's hope. But there's another final girl. And I was like, I don't think that's a virgin. I don't understand this trope. So I don't agree with that part of the trope anyway, at least what they try to define in Scream.
I think that's more of like an old school approach to it. Like, I don't think that's
and those
relevant.
are the movies they refer to, right? Like Halloween and Chucky and all these
Texas
things.
Chainsaw Massacre, like all of those. Yeah, I think that's
morally questionable women enjoying their sexual freedom.
Yeah, no kidding.
They deserve it. All right. Final girl. We see this a lot.
Ready or Not.
Oh, yeah.
With Samara
God,
Weaving.
she is so cute in that movie.
Samara Weaving is like
I love her.
becoming such a scream queen, and I love her. She is so good in Ready or Not. She has a little cameo in Scream 6, I want to say, and it's just a really...
Oh my God, she does, doesn't she?
She does, yeah.
I forgot about that.
She's in the opening scene. I love her. She's really good, but I would highly recommend checking out Ready or Not if you haven't.
Yeah, it's funny too. It's not as scary as other scary movies if you're not into that.
Yeah.
Cool. What's our next trope? Not Quite Dead.
Not Quite Dead.
Oh my God, they said the name. They said the name of the show. We're not plugging our podcast. Our podcast is Not Quite Dead, and we named it after this trope. We named it after this trope because we loved Saw. Like, that was what we were like, we both love Saw, let's do a podcast.
Yeah, we bonded over Saw.
And Jigsaw is always not quite dead.
Yeah, the Not Quite Dead trope is so ubiquitous, but it's not always known what the trope is called. But it's where the killer's taken down or they look like they're dead, and the victim gets like a moment to breathe, and then it's like killer pops up in the background and they're chasing them again, right? Because, I mean, there's nothing that horror movies love more than a sequel. So it's really hard to kill your main character, your big bad. So a lot of horror franchise villains, are not quite dead.
Yeah.
They might seem dead or they might look like they got killed, but they're probably just recuperating and going to be right around the corner in one way or another.
Yeah. I guess we should call out that there are spoilers. So if you're like, oh, I haven't seen a bunch of horror movies, like, we're not going to give you that much warning. So, spoiler alert. Yeah. This is, I love Chucky for this reason. Because Chucky is like a supernatural, he's there because of supernatural forces. So it's like, cool, we don't have to worry about how it works. Yeah. It's supernatural. Yeah. Like, he comes back. He's a soul in a doll.
It stretches the imagination when it's just like a person like Jigsaw. Yeah. Where it's like, okay, this like 78-year-old man is just like pulling himself out of bed every day to try and go
building these crazy traps. Yeah. Although to be fair to Jigsaw, because I know Soups is calling this out, like, Jigsaw does literally die, spoiler alert, at some point in the series. But then we get flashbacks, which is a whole other trope.
Yeah, they don't like to let him go. He's a really good villain, and so the Saw movies kind of run through various directors, and so I think that some of these directors are probably a little bit bummed that they lost Jigsaw as an
because it'd be
active
so
villain.
much easier to work with him if he was
lot-
alive.
A lot easier. And so I think there's good motivation for them to try and use flashbacks, and it like kills me if you've like listened to those episodes. It's just kind of insane.
We're like,
how
oh
many
look,
flashbacks
another
there are.
flashback.
Yeah.
And look, a flashback to something we just saw in this movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to let
I also enjoy, I think Jason is a good not quite dead villain because, well, no, actually I take that back. He's kind of annoying because he is a real person, right? I think in some of the episodes they go metaphysical.
I mean, he goes to hell in one season.
Right.
One movie.
So what is that?
Yeah. He's in space. Jason in space.
Yeah. We love Jason in space.
Yeah.
What else? Who else is a good not quite dead thing? I mean, just a lot of stuff. Like, oh, okay, Barbarian, that horrible monster. Like, they run into her with a car. They shoot her.
Yeah,
like
just
they throw her off of a water tower.
Yeah,
and she keeps coming.
She keeps coming back. It's I mean, for like narrative purposes, it's like nice because it keeps on bringing tension back. But sometimes it gets to be a little bit much because you're like, how much is this thing supposed to be able to take before you can actually kill it?
Right.
Yeah.
And that kind of leads us into our last trope we're going to talk about today, which is sick kid. This monster, like we were just talking about, the not quite dead thing. This monster is like the result of generational incest and now has superpowers, right?
Yeah.
Like that's not really how that kind of thing works. But
not usually.
Not usually, but a lot of times in horror movies, if you're a sick kid, you get some supernatural weird powers. Apparently.
Yeah.
What were we thinking of? Well, yesterday we watched World War Z.
Yeah, so we've been noticing in some of the more movies we've been watching that not only does the main character either have their own kids or have like kids around them that they need to take care of in the midst of like whatever horror they're dealing with, but their kid also seems to like have asthma. Like they're like the kid needs medicine. Like there's always this like added complication to like taking care. Yeah, more peril, more dramatic stakes happening where not only are they kids, but they're a kid that needs like extra care and attention.
And asthma I feel like comes up a lot. As the specific sickness. And in Signs, like the movie Signs, it becomes like a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
Because this kid has asthma, he's protected from like the poison gas, which is clever. I always thought it was very clever.
Yeah, I think
I liked Signs.
The example that I thought of was in The Others. The two young kids have photosensitivity, so they cannot go into the light without getting really severe burns and rashes on their skin. And so that keeps them essentially trapped in the house. There's just a lot of, once you kind of start poking into that trope, I feel like you see it all over the place. Really a lot in these kind of like zombie or apocalypse type movies too, because they love a pharmacy run. They love having to go to a grocery store and like do a supply run and have to figure out where the medicine is. That's always a narrative element.
Right. What am I thinking of next? We talked about a few yesterday and now I'm blanking.
Yeah, Quiet Place.
Quiet Place was perfect, right? Because you needed to not be able to talk and make sounds, right?
Yeah.
So if you're deaf, you tend to not talk and make sounds, and you don't need sound.
But also add some dramatic tension because she's not aware, obviously, of when she's maybe making sound or of things that might make a sound. And so I think that there's some, like the sick kid trope is like so funny to like just think about. But then when you see it, like you're like, oh, okay, I guess for this scenario it would be extra stressful.
Yeah. And this one may not be horror, but I remember in The Predator, this is like a little more action, but The Predator, there's a kid who is autistic, and that's what they rely on to resolve the problem with the Predator. Like, it's...
I think I've seen The Predator.
Yeah, you don't need to. I mean, yeah, you don't need to. Just watch Predator. It's classic. Perfect movie. It's a perfect movie, Kate. A perfect movie.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, sick kids. Gotta love them.
Legally required to love them.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's already been
Getting
an
late.
hour.
Yeah, and we started
Oh
the
my
next
gosh.
poll. So check that out.
Dot, dot,
Listen, this is going to be important at the end, and we have some stuff to catch up on.
Oh yeah, we had a chat.
We did, and we didn't forget because we don't forget because we're good hostesses. Liberty Fries. So great to hear about your favorite horror movies, but what are your least favorite horror movies? Like a bottom 3 horror films go. That's hard.
Bottom 3. That's really
It's
tough.
hard because you and I also enjoy watching bad movies sometimes. And so,
yeah, I think it.
but they're not my least favorite because I enjoy watching them.
Right.
Right.
I've seen some really boring horror movies that I
Yes.
think were trying to be atmospheric.
Apollo 18 comes to mind.
Oh my God,
We
Apollo
both hated
18,
that.
That movie sucked. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So that
it
goes
just-
on both
it
of our
wasn't
lists.
Scary. It was just
boring.
really boring. There was no tension in it.
I had a hard time writing notes for it because I kept like zoning out. And I was like, wait, what just happened? I had to watch it so many times, Kate, and I was so mad at myself because it was so bad.
It was really boring.
I did not like Apollo 18. Okay, personally, I hate Rubber. That movie about the freaking tire. It's horrible.
I made Megan watch that movie. I kind of love it. It's so
Yeah, of course you do.
That's the thing, though, right? Is that I kind of enjoy really bad movies, and so I like Rubber. I don't think it's a great movie, but it is, I think, entertaining to watch.
You think it's entertaining to watch me watch it and get mad.
I do. Yeah.
That is part of the fun. But I'm saying Rubber and Apollo 18. I'm still thinking of my third one. What about you?
Oh my gosh, Joy, can I even remember any?
Right? They're bad. They're forgettable. We don't remember. It's not fair. One movie that is horrible, but I love it, so it doesn't count for this list, but I always bring it up, is Jason X. I absolutely
X.
adore Jason X because of how freaking terrible it is.
It's so silly, though, and I
Yeah.
feel like I like that one because it knows it's silly.
It does.
It's so
It
goofy.
seems very
It's
self-aware.
super campy. Like, that's really fun. I love a good campy, like, horror movie. Yeah, I'm really struggling to think of more, and I'm not going to make us sit on this forever.
No.
But
I'm trying to think, like,
which of the Saws do we like the least?
Oh.
Saw
maybe 7.
7 was brutal. That one was so hard to watch.
7 was hard to watch.
Yeah, because is that the 3D one?
It's the 3D,
Yeah, Saw 3D. Yeah,
And the
it's not
story,
very
it's like,
good.
it's, nope, we're just doing the 3D thing. The story is stupid. Like,
Yeah.
that was the one where I was like least interested in the story.
Right.
Like, okay, we know Saw isn't great. Like, the story is goofy anyway. But on top of that, this one was
Awful, because
Yeah.
it's just really, like, you're watching it and you're like, oh, they made this to show off 3D
yeah,
effects, not to tell a cohesive story.
right.
So that one sucks. Yeah, so Saw 7, and then I guess I'm going to say the Scream where they're in college, which I want to say is Scream 2.
Oh, I really didn't like Scream 2. Although I'm not a big Scream fan in general. But yeah.
Okay, but Scream 3 with Parker Posey
Okay,
is so
Scream
good.
3 is phenomenal. Parker Posey brings the energy we need in a movie like that.
Yeah, I like Scream 3 for that reason. But Scream 2 is just like kind of a rehash of Scream 1.
Right.
It's really uninspired. It's just like not great. I
Why
feel
do
like,
sequels do this? Like Harry Potter 2 was also like that. I hated it.
yeah.
Like, why are you just copying the first movie?
Yeah.
This is so boring. And it's like, you didn't read the book. No, I didn't.
I think, I think that there's a lot of like good 90s horror movies that like their sequels did not hold up. There was like an I Know What You Did Last Summer too. Don't even bother. Like some of those, the originals are good and the sequels are not very good. So I guess I'll put that in as one as well.
Yeah. Soups, it literally is one of my least favorite horror movies. Like I don't ever want to watch it again. It's terrible. So it's not to troll you. I actually mean it. Liberty Fries says Saw 2 comes to mind. I actually debated putting that at the top of my Saw list, which is funny. Yeah,
Saw 2
I love Saw 2.
Good. Yeah, I like that one.
They wrote the script for like just a totally random script. It wasn't about Saw. And then they were like, oh, this would work well for Saw. And I think that's why I like it. Because it's not just a rehash of the first one.
It's a different story, which I like.
Yeah. And yeah, John Havman, that's totally fair. Like a lot of horror movies are rehashed. Like we just talked about tropes. Like, yeah, we see the same thing in a lot of horror movies. It's just like, how do you make the pieces fit? Well, we like it. Yeah. So yeah, I feel you. I feel the same way about Marvel movies, you know.
Yeah.
Like, we all have the genre we're not interested in, I guess. Oh my God, that's right. All these horrible like 90s movies. I Know What You Did Last Summer, Scream.
Yeah.
What else? Halloween H2O is pretty bad too.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why can't I think of what those movies were? Like we all watched them.
I know, I've seen so many of them. But then they all just kind of blend into one.
Liberty Fries does not like Jeepers Creepers.
Oh, I actually thought that one was really
You
creepy.
fiend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Liberty Fries, I don't know what to say to you. Terrible. But I do know that we need to end this poll. So let's do that. Yeah, let's end that. We'll start the next one in a little bit. Right now. Let's see. 16 votes are in, guys. I'm going to give you like another minute to see if we have any other choices because it's pretty close still. We've maimed, shaved, drove, or tickled. Pick one. I'm not going to tell you what it's for. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Stop asking questions.
Okay, Soups has another hobby tip for you, Kate. Are you ready?
Let me brace myself.
All right. Hobby tip. Accidentally spilling your blood on a mini really helps bring the paint job to life. It works doubly well if you speak Latin as you do it.
Ooh, a little blood sacrifice.
We love blood sacrifices.
Yeah.
Kate and I are both cannibals. You like raw meat, don't you?
I do.
Yeah. That's why we like each other so much. So don't want to do that. If you get blood on your mini, you just have to wash it off and it's annoying. I wouldn't say it's good paint.
I wouldn't even say that it's going to dry to the color that you want it.
No, it's going to look like brown. It's going to look terrible. Yeah, if I paint blood on a mini, we have like, there's special effect blood paint. So it like looks like blood. Mm-hmm. Or like, yeah, I'll take red and splatter it. Oh yeah, I'll show you my Jason mini that I did. Oh my gosh. But no, you don't use real paint. That's crazy. Crazy talk. All right, I'm switching to a smaller brush. No, it's 00. Where are we at? Where are we at in our to-do list today? Oh, it looks like maimed is winning. Oh, it's tied with shaved.
Ooh.
If we get to be the tiebreaker. Don't let us be the tiebreaker, guys. If we get to be the tiebreaker, I don't know what we'll pick. Maybe we'll each vote for a different one.
Vote.
The last horror movie I watched was Beetlejuice a couple days ago, John Havman. Yeah, I saw it a couple weeks ago, actually. Randomly. Last night we tried watching Cemetery Man. We tried watching. We could try again. We were only semi paying attention.
A little distracted.
But that was interesting. That was with Rupert Everett.
It was such a like D movie. It was like I knew it was really bad, but I didn't expect the dubbing job that they did on it.
Yeah, that's true. The dubbing was weird. I think it felt like Rupert Everett was the only one not being dubbed. But I mean, he must have dubbed his own voice, right?
Yeah, probably for sound mixing
Right.
purposes. It was an Italian production starring Rupert Everett, and they intended the movie to be in English, but all of the
actors, right?
actors are obviously speaking Italian,
Right.
with dubbed over English, and then Rupert Everett is just speaking English around them. It's just a really bizarre movie.
It's silly.
There's a lot of gratuitous nudity.
Oh
in it.
yeah, it's very porny.
It's super porny.
Highly recommend.
Yeah, so it's like one of those late night horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
Cinemax horror movie.
Yeah, little Skinemax action going on. So Kate, what I did, I have highlights that I'm kind of working on now in the striping, and the stripes are white and the zenithal white. Sorry, and the white kind of got covered up when I was doing the striping as well. So what I did was I'm mixing a little bit of white with my purple contrast, and that makes it a little more opaque, so I can actually cover what I'm doing, like where it was darker, so I can actually brighten it up. So if you want to brighten something up, just add white to it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Are you looking? Yeah, it's funny, Soups. Are you looking forward to Beetlejuice 2? We are looking forward to it, and we're definitely going to cover it on our podcast. It comes out in September, I think, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And a lot of people from the original are involved, which is always a good sign, I think. Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton has been on board since the beginning. Since the original came out, he was like, yeah, I'd love to do this character again, right? So the fact that he's excited and involved makes me feel good about it. I'm going to put the camera back on you, Kate.
Okay, I'll start painting down here
Yeah,
again.
so you need to entertain these people. Hi, Godforge. And yeah, I think Winona's coming back. Tim Burton's back. Is Catherine?
She is.
Okay,
Catherine
great.
O'Hara's coming back, which she is so funny.
She's the best.
And then
yeah.
they've got, what's her name? The new Wednesday Addams.
Oh, yeah. Jennifer Ortega?
Oh, Jenna Ortega.
Jenna, okay, yeah.
That's right.
Got it.
Jenna Ortega.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. The only one who didn't get an invite back is Jeffrey Jones.
Which, for good cause.
Good reason. Not a nice person, as it turns out. But yes, both excited. Well, the other movie we're very excited for, guys. Hello, Saw 11. Saw 11's coming out this year.
Of course it is.
Of course. We haven't had enough Saw in our life.
I think the last one did pretty well at the box office. I think we've got at least 3 more of those movies coming.
It was Jigsaw goes on spring break. Yeah. Thank you for the party lights. Rudy, you're back. If I can find it, I highly recommend the South Korean horror thriller film called H. Ooh. Oh, I haven't heard of that.
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
Okay. We did watch Train to Busan this year, which was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. In a digital media world, do you have a DVD player? The answer for me is no. The closest thing I have is an original Xbox.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah, which we don't use that much anymore. But yeah, I don't want the clutter. I wanted to get rid of all that stuff, so I transferred everything to a hard drive, and guess what? The hard drive doesn't turn on anymore. So I need to figure that out. But yeah, what about you, Kate? Do you guys have DVD players?
We have a Blu-ray player.
Okay.
And I think we also have an old game set up too, but we never use it. That thing does not get turned on.
Do you guys still have DVDs? Okay.
I have a lot of DVDs. I think I have just a really eclectic mix at this point, though. I've got Charlie's Angels Full Throttle.
Nice, yeah.
And we have a bunch of Dragon Ball Z DVDs too. I keep on painting things that I don't want to paint.
Oh my gosh. What are you thinking?
I know. I'm this is his pants, not his boots.
Barry, no, you're correct. That is what happens. Basically, the way that they keep the Jigsaw character going is that he's dead, but he has minions, and you don't realize he had those minions until they do a flashback, and then that's how they make the movie. Okay, there was a minion doing this. Or if they move the plot forward, the minion takes the killings on themselves, and then you get like flashbacks of like them planning this out before Jigsaw died. Like it's all done with flashbacks. It's very, very corny. Yeah. Okay. Where are we at? I think it's time for us to end this poll, and we're getting closer and closer to fan stuff. So let me end the poll and put up our next poll. Many important polls today. If it was actual yellow minions, I'm not sure if it would be better or worse.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So this is like a
Thank
thing
you,
that
Rudy,
happens.
for the super chat.
Thanks, Rudy. This is something that happens on the internet all the time, but like on Reddit, they'll say, oh, which movie, if you could swap out like most of the cast with like Muppet characters,
Yes.
like which would you pick? And I do think that Saw, where Jigsaw is the only human and everyone else is a Muppet, would be like pretty funny.
God.
Right?
Yes. We had this question the other day about it was turning Star Wars into Muppets.
Yeah.
Yes. And like the Muppets would get so like gruesome with like
I know, it'd just be like felt like
socks,
stuff
yeah,
everywhere.
all over the place. It would be very reminiscent of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. I love that YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You guys should check that out if you like weird, off-putting puppets.
Okay, if I had the skill and the patience, I would definitely do the base of this in that geometric carpet pattern.
Yeah.
Like that'd be pretty sick. But I think that for our purposes for today, question. You paint the base, right? Like you paint this little base.
I'm not
area?
going to
You're not
today.
going to? Okay. I was going to say, to be lazy, I would maybe just make it the snow scene in The Shining so that I could just paint it white.
Yeah. All right, guys, choose a proper noun. It's a very important poll, like all of our polls. Thank you for the hearts. Oh, nice. Rudy is going to send us H, the DVD.
Awesome.
So thank you. We look forward to that. I'll definitely watch it on my original Xbox.
Oh, that's awesome. I love Korean horror. I watched the old original Old Boy at a kind of formative age, and it just like really stuck with me.
Oh boy. All right, we have our poll going. Now we're like calling people out. Thank you for the hearts. We love them. Yeah, we'll leave this one up for, what time is it? Like 5 minutes. So get your votes in now. Because we have a handful more to do. We want to make sure we can get to everything without forgetting and without interrupting too much of fan stuff. Really quickly, let's throw up our schedule as a reminder. There were some great names in chat today. Guy, there were great names in chat. That's amazing. A year later, we're still getting great names. We have our hobby hangouts that is happening right now at 10 a.m. We also have one on Wednesdays in the evenings. And we're also very Age of Sigmar centric right now for the time being. We are really focused on Age of Sigmar. 4th edition is coming out very soon. And so every work day, you can start your mornings with some AOS lore review, right? Right now, they are featuring all of the factions, and we, as in Zach, Saray, Steven, maybe John and Brad will get in there at some point. We'll be chatting through those new announcements. And then we have our games every Monday and Saturday. So check that out. If you're a member, you get to watch that Monday stream, that Monday game. Yeah. Pretty cool. And it's birthday month.
Birthday month.
It's birthday month. We're going to be doing some special, on the member nights on our AOS games, we're going to be doing some special missions. Never before seen missions, because we made them up because it's fun for birthday month. So if you remember, you'll get to catch those. We'll sprinkle those throughout the month. Yeah, looks like Saray is winning. I'm kind of shocked because I know Soups is like, well, pay attention to me. I assumed he'd be campaigning, but looks like Soraya's winning. Yeah. How's yours coming along, Kate?
Good. I'm like now starting to really notice the areas where I got paint in spots that I didn't want them. So
Sure.
I'm
Happens
probably
to us all.
gonna need some tips later on how to cover those up.
Yeah.
Right now I'm just going for layers.
I'm kind of trying to I'm trying to make this like a speed paint almost. Like see how much I can get done in the time given. So it's going to be pretty sketchy, I want to say.
I think that's cool though for Beetlejuice. Like I think painting to the character is nice.
Yeah, that's true. He is kind of gross looking anyway. I want to get his face done, but laying down the stripes is like, I want to focus on that for a bit because that's the most amount of work. Your voice is proper, Soups. Yeah, Soups is British. So it's just like, oh, you're automatically like fancy, I guess. Kate, can you do a British accent?
Absolutely not.
Don't make me.
Can't do any accents.
You can't make Kate do anything, guys.
It's true.
I would never attempt it. Yeah, I can't do that stuff either. It took me, I want to say, like the year that we've been around to learn how to say Worcestershire. You say Worcester instead of Worcestershire. Worcestershire. You don't say Worcester, apparently. No. Worcester. Yeah. But like, there's a shire on it,
Yeah,
right?
there is,
So you gotta
yeah.
say Worcestershire, at least, right?
I've heard some people just say Worcester though.
Yeah.
Just
I
call it
guess there's a
Worcester
town
sauce.
or something
Yeah.
called Worcester.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's about it. Hey, Polly. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the chat. You're already like part of the channel. Polly is like an anti-hero in our chat
Oh, why is that?
because he causes problems.
Oh, okay. It brings the drama.
My Beetlejuice, I feel like, is very sloppy.
I think I need some more paint colors. This is coming along. It's
let's take a look.
pretty rough and ready, as I mentioned, but he's got some blue jeans and his little red jacket.
His little jacket says.
Yeah, it's very shiny. As I
Yeah,
mentioned.
right. It looks wet. It's not wet.
Yeah, it's definitely trying.
Here, let me focus the camera for you. There we go. Nice.
There
That's
we go.
better. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. All right, little 360 action.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He looks good. How are you
Yeah.
feeling about it so far? How do you feel about doing it on stream in front of everybody?
Actually, it's a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I was
Yeah.
really nervous for this, just being honest.
Oh, yeah.
But
It's fair. It's a weird experience.
yeah, the paint is interesting. The like, actually, I want to do the flesh color now. Okay, so I am going to be using. Okay. Can you tell? Okay, I'm going to be using this flesh shade to start working on his skin. He's got his little
Yeah.
face. And I just got paint all over my finger.
Oh, welcome to the club. What color is his hair? Is it yellow? Is it green? Oh, it's like green. Okay. I can remember. Yeah, and then he's like dirty around the edges of his face. He's kind of gross. I'm tired. Won't cause trouble. Great. Good to know, Polly. Polly, we're running a bunch of very important polls all stream, so make sure that you vote. It looks like Saray is winning. We only have 11 votes. We were getting into the 20s for the other ones. So where is everybody? Make sure you guys do your voting. I'm going to end this one very soon. Let's see. Yeah, we'll give it another minute. So if you haven't voted, make sure you do a vote. Otherwise, we're going with Saray. Polly, you did a blacksmithing workshop. Have you done that before, Kate? Have you ever done anything like that? This is Mike.
No, I haven't done anything like that because I don't like physical labor.
Yeah, I hear you.
If I can avoid it.
I'm with you there. Thank you for the party lights. Neil JBYT. Welcome to Lab Mandrill, man. Good to have you. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Glad you're enjoying the content. We do have, actually, this is a great segue. We do have a Mandrill workshop that is happening in our Discord exclusively for Mandrills. Also, if you're in our Discord and you have the top talker or top texter role, which is a rolling role, you're also welcome to join these. So anyways, on the 16th of June, 8 a.m., this is right before our Sunday stream, you can join that in our Discord and get some live tips and tricks from Timbit, who is, he has won a Golden Demon, I think it was an honorable mention, which is amazing,
Awesome.
with this piece. So it's a wet blending workshop. Hope to see you there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Okay, Beetlejuice has a really nasty mouth also.
Can I see what yours is looking like so far?
It's getting there. It needs work.
That's so good though. Wow.
Here, well,
I love that greeny because it's very like fungusy, moldy. Yeah, so good.
Yeah, he's all right. I'll probably have to go back and get the light, like the yellow lighting better. But yeah, brightening up his stripes and stuff. So we'll see. Yeah. Hey, Neil from England, UK. Good to see you. Good to have you. How long have you been hanging out with us? Thank you for the hearts, folks. It's always exciting to meet new people. I'm always like, what's wrong with you? Why do you like us?
I mean, you guys have global appeal.
Global.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
It's what? It's 11:30 here, so that means it's going to be 18:30 in the UK about. So just around dinner time.
Yeah. Oh. The workshop, did someone tell you could just 3D print it instead? Okay. Yeah, it's super good to have you. All right. I think we could probably end this poll. Oh, look, it's Matt Rose. Matt Rose has won. That's fun. All right, and I'm going to get the next poll going, and then we can do some fan stuff, which we all know and love. Oops. Thank you, John. Very sweet. Last hobby tip for the day. Thank you, Soups. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Turns out trees aren't brown. What do you think about this?
Trees are brown.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, they're like trunks and branches are brown, and then their leaves can be brown. Their leaves can be all kinds of colors.
That's true. They can be all kinds of colors.
Yeah.
But Kate, you're wrong. This is actually a real hobby tip. Trees aren't brown, girl. If you look at a tree up close, you're going to see lots of colors going on.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true for everything.
See, Kate knows. Kate knows. Have you ever seen a birch tree up close?
Yeah, I have. And we have aspens.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have an aspen in our yard. That's obviously white and gray and yellow and brown shot through. Like, of course. I didn't know we were speaking in the specific. I was speaking in the general.
We got her, guys. Okay, choose a place, guys. I'm going to give you a few minutes here, and we are going to jump in to fan stuff. Wahoo! You did it. You made stuff. So there's no Zach or Saray or Brett here to confirm what all of these models are. So I'm going to do my best. I'm terrible at this. I tried to take note of it, but of course I forget. I mean, these are obviously Space Marines. And this is from Boris. Boris posted a bunch of these shots of his Space Marine army. What kind of Space Marine army is this? Kate, what would you call this theme? You give it the theme name while we wait for chat to tell us the answer.
Theme name?
Yeah. What would you like?
Mossy Boys.
Mossy Boys. These are Boris's Mossy Boys.
Yeah.
And he posted a bunch, most of these, except I think there were 2 that weren't done. I have this guy that's blue, and I think one more. I cannot remember now. But looking at this group, I think is this a kill team, guys? White Scars. Okay, these are called White Scars. I was going to guess that, but I was like, I'll let Kate make it up. Can you tell what the groups are here? Like the individual units by looking at the paint job? Or the models themselves?
I mean, it looks like some infantry with the guns. Like maybe especially those guys on the top right. I'm going to say the, oh my God, Megan.
I'm torturing her.
This guy here.
This middle guy in white with his face showing?
Yeah, I'm going to say he's our main boy. He's going to be like our commander or something because we can see his cool face.
Yeah, we did talk about that trope also.
We did, so that was me maybe cheating a little bit. And then...
You're allowed to learn things.
And then these guys look like they have maybe flight packs or something on them.
I think they do. I think all spacemen, Space Marines have that kind of thing going on.
So there's airmen and infantry and a commander. I mean,
but you did call out that there's this back unit, right? And they all have black as part of their color scheme. Yeah, so that's something people do to help differentiate stuff on the field. So good job, it worked.
Yay.
Yeah. I don't know if you caught this blue guy. He's blue, so he's different too.
I ignored him because I didn't know what he was.
Yeah, he's just blue. He's referred to as blue guy. All right, next. Kate, we love doing these. This is Broken Chef. Broken Chef did a paint night. And Kate and I used to do paint nights, wine and paint nights all the time. So I don't know if you did a wine and paint night, Chef, or followed a tutorial, but this looks super cool.
It's really
super fun. Oh, look, he's got some Rebel Moon going on in there too, it looks like.
Yeah.
It's just anytime I see anything that vaguely resembles that Rebel Moon, I'm going to call it out.
Yeah, I like those happy little trees also.
They're cute.
Those are really good.
Yeah, thank you, Chef. Chef usually does commission painting, and we see a lot of his work from his commission paints in here, so it's kind of refreshing to see something different from you, Chef. Thanks. Oh, I forget what this model is called. Go ahead and give it a name, Kate. What do you want to call it?
It's beautiful. It looks like I'm going to call it the Death Phoenix because it looks like it's coming out of the flames, but it's also very, very dangerous.
Very dangerous. Yeah, somebody will tell us, but I freaking love this thing. This is by Nick at Night.
It's really cool.
It's very cool, even when you look, especially when you look at the base too. Here, I'll pull it up bigger. But look at those runes, the glowing runes at the bottom are very cool.
Yeah. That's awesome. I like the skeleton detail on the base too.
Oh yeah.
It's really nice.
Oh yeah.
Kind of really gives
dead
it,
guy.
Yeah. Extra spookiness.
We do love spook. The wings are beautiful, and this whole thing is just very beautiful, and it draws your eyes up towards the blue. Lovely. Very cool model on its own as well, but the paint job is amazing. You guys tell us what it is, because we don't know. All right, this is Soy Sumer. So Soy Sumer was sad because we didn't choose any of his memes earlier, but I believe this looks like it's from Ideneth Deepkin, which is an army in Age of Sigmar that is like ocean themed.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like Space Maui.
Yeah,
Because
Space Maui.
Because it looks like a Maui hook. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's super cool. So like their lore is that when they attack you, because there's like sharks and turtles, and it looks like they're flying.
Yeah.
And they're kind of flying. They're bringing the ocean tide with them,
Oh,
or the
cool.
water, right? Like, so they're swimming in the air in water. It's very like
wow.
Steve Weiland,
That's cool.
like animals in space. Jason Burke, this is recorded, yes. And Soups was telling us that this last one is called a Celestant Prime.
Cool.
Yeah. So don't forget that, Kate.
I gotta take notes.
Yeah. So I forget exactly what this model is, but I'm fairly certain it's from Idoneth Deepkin, and it's really pretty. Soy Sumer, thank you for contributing memes and models, because I love your paint jobs. They're so lovely. It's called a soul render. That's what we're calling it. Yeah. All right, we're taking a quick break from this so that I can end the poll. Got to end the poll. And put up the next poll. And then we'll get back to it. Yeah, we have a very talented Discord. You guys, if you're not in our Discord, you should join it. You can submit your pieces, your work, and we'll feature it on stream. Kate, well, we should feature your first model next stream.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
What are
I'll
some
probably have been finished with it by then.
Yeah. What are some of the, so you're not new to crafting. Like, what are some fun things you've crafted
Ooh,
that you would want to share?
Oh boy, I made a disco ball cowboy hat to go see Beyonce at the Renaissance tour.
Very fun.
I had kind of a weirdly haberdashery crafty year last year. I also
You
made a
did.
big rose like hat.
For your Halloween costume.
For a Beauty and the Beast Belle costume.
Yeah.
So some kind of fabric crafts like that. I was really into tie-dyeing for a while.
Guys, choose a body
Painting.
part.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you did some painting too.
Yeah, I've done painting, mostly acrylics, a lot of watercolor recently. Really like watercolors. During COVID, I felt like I was just speed running different crafts to see if there was anything that was going to
would stick,
stick
yeah.
and what I would like. And I learned that I'm not very into fiber arts. I just really don't have the patience for it. Any kind of like crocheting, knitting, I really wish that I did, because
Sure.
like you make such beautiful like clothes and scarves and hats for my baby and all
Aw.
this stuff, and
Yeah.
I always really appreciate that. But yeah,
Well, you know what? There's a plus to that. Now nobody will ask you to do it for them.
that's true.
Knitting is like knitting, crochet. Those are like things that people are like, oh, can you make me this blanket? And it's like,
Oh boy, yeah.
okay, at least buy the yarn, and it's like going to cost you a lot. And I would never want to commission knit for anybody. If I make you something, it's because I wanted to, and it's a gift.
I had one friend that I commissioned a piece from, but I paid her. I was like, you price this out, I'll buy the yarn, tell me how much you want me to pay. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to be
No, I would
maybe
make
a
something for
good
you.
consumer. I know.
You did ask me to make you a sweater, and I was like, yes, I will make you a sweater because I love you. Just buy the yarn.
That was like 5 years ago, and I never bought the yarn.
I know. All she has to do is buy the yarn, and I'll do it.
You're a busy gal. I don't.
Yeah, I'll
don't
do it one
know.
of these days.
Yeah.
But it's good that it's waiting, I guess.
One of these days.
Yeah. Neil's glad we mentioned Worcestershire sauce.
Oh yeah.
Worcestershire. All right, guys, make sure you're voting for a belly button. Belly button is winning. Make sure you're voting for a body part. We have 10 votes. I know that there's more of you in here than 10, so get to it. And after this, we only have 3 more polls. So I'm going to give it I don't know. I'm going to give it another minute. We'll say that I'm going to give it another minute. It'll probably be more. Okay. I'm waiting for that minute, actually. And then we'll switch back to what we were doing, which was looking at fan stuff. Yeah. Because we do have a little more. Let's see. So I need to like paint his face kind of gross, but you know, I want to make sure it looks like grossness and not just like, oh, I spilled the paint on his face.
I need a hobby tip, Meg.
Okay.
I'm putting this flesh color on his face.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Yeah. And it is just not showing up at all. It's
okay.
really thin. So I think I may need to add some more white onto the face just to make this like flesh tone actually appear, because
yeah, I would lay it down everywhere. Lay the flesh tone down and then let it dry.
Okay.
And then go back in with white and just paint some white in the the
highlights.
Yeah, the places that stick out. Cheeks, the nose, your little bit of forehead, maybe the chin, maybe the lips.
Yeah.
And then when that dries, then come back in with another contrast. Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. And what contrast are you using? What color is that?
This one is the flesh shade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a brighter one in here we can try too. No, that's fine.
I got paint all over me.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
My bad. I did that. No, I think that's fine. There's also Gilman's flesh. Might be worth trying out.
Okay.
And maybe mixing in like a little bit of yellow if you wanted, like if you want to take it up, bump it up in value. All right, guys, we're ending this one. We're ending this poll. You guys landed on belly button.
Nice. Good choice.
Yeah, it's not a bad one. All right, guys, we're working on adjectives next. There we go. Pick an adjective. And let's get back to our fan stuff. Okay. So call out before we run through the rest. We are running, well, Saray is running a, I don't know what we call this, like it's a thing. It's a thing. We want to know what your chaos units look like, what your warband looks like, or maybe a warband that you have dreamed of and you would love to see come to life. Those of you that follow our channel probably have seen Saray's many Chaos Night videos that he's put out. And why stop there? You guys have lots of good ideas. You guys are great artists, and we want to include you in Saray's Chaos Horde. So in our Discord, we have a channel specifically for this. You got to join, and you can leave a comment either on the original Banners of Chaos video or in our Discord chat. We've had a lot of people join in and share what they're thinking. And so I had Kate go through our thread of our channel of chaos and have her pick out the 5 that she liked best so far, right? Now Saray's just going to be adding what appeals to him to the Horde, but I wanted to get Kate's opinions and her take on your guys' submissions as a non-player and see what she thought. So she has some notes for you.
Yeah.
So this first one, I'm forgetting the name of who this person is. This is Filippo.
Oh, I loved this one. I really liked the lore on this one, and that's besides the awesome paint job, like part of why I picked it, because you said that they use their ashes of their enemies to color their armor, and I just thought that was really metal.
That is really metal.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Yeah. I love it getting like even darker, even more grim than we necessarily would have known, right?
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
a very grim landscape Warhammer. Also that banner, man, that is nice freehanding.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Okay, so Saray, Kate has put out the call. She likes this theme, Ashes of Enemies. It's pretty cool. All right, let's check out the next one. Nice job, Filippo. This is Saul.
Ooh,
And Saul has been working really hard on building up his skill level. He wants to be a commissioned painter. He's just started a new Instagram. And man, he has been really we can see him growing in our channel. It's amazing. He's been doing a lot of glazing and focusing on that skill for the most recent time. But what did you like about his chaos?
I really liked the ghostly theme that he went with here. I thought that the, I'm assuming it's an airbrushing technique, was really cool because there's a lot of that like purple that's like kind of coming through a lot of the models. And yeah, just a really unique color scheme. I like the variety in color schemes too. So the ghostly ethereal effect was really awesome.
Yeah, I don't know, Saul, I can't, remind me, I don't think you used an airbrush on this. Maybe you did when you're doing your initial setup, but you talked a lot about dry brushing.
Oh, cool.
And so a lot of this like white that you're seeing on kind of like I wouldn't call it overlaid, but you see it kind of like picking up some detail, right? That's all done with one of these dry brushes.
Oh, cool.
And you just catch the edges of the model and it'll pick those details out. Yeah, and so Saul's been working on that and kind of switching over to glazing, as I think it's a bit smoother than dry brushing can give you, the kind of look it can give you. But yeah, glad you liked Saul's and that we got to show it off. Let's take a look at the next chaos unit. All right, this is, sorry about that, Styrofoam King. Styrofoam King, you're new to our channel. Kate, tell me about why you liked this chaos theme.
I loved the lore and that each one was a bird theme. I think that was really expanding my conception of how you could theme paint jobs and being really intentional with the color choices. So really appreciated that. I liked seeing the different bird choices too as the starting point for the inspiration.
Yeah, guys, remind me, is this a Tzeentch chaos theme? Tzeentch are like Lords of Change. They're tricksters, and they are bird-centric. So that's possibly why there are feathers here and stuff. But I'm not as familiar with the models to know better if it's just, something cool about this model or if it's specifically a Tzeentch thing. But that's cool that you caught that. I like all the colors going on here. It's like a little tiny rainbow. So I'm starting the next poll and then we're going to switch to the next. Okay, it's a Stormcast conversion. Okay, looks undivided. What does undivided mean, guys? Can you guys help Kate and maybe a little bit myself? I think I never asked this question, but to me, like, yeah, okay, undivided. You just kind of worship everybody.
Okay,
got it.
cool.
You're finicky. Okay. There we go. Start a poll. Okay. Thank you, Styrofoam King. Thanks for joining the Discord. Glad to have you and glad to see your chaos submission. I hope it gets to join the horde. And lastly, what do we think about this one? This is Soups. I didn't tell her to pick this.
Yeah, like I said, I love an interesting color scheme. This one is just so bright and colorful, and I can imagine why a lot of models are in like browns and blacks and grays. But I just really enjoy really bright rainbow stuff. So I picked this one too.
Yeah. This is a fun one. Soups, I don't remember if you had any lore written down for it. So if you have any, you should share it in chat. But I mean, yeah, it's hard to pass up a good rainbow. Oh, and yeah, that you're right, Soups. It's a good Pride Month
Yeah, it's a good,
connection.
good,
Yeah.
good tie-in. Very, very topical for not only the stream, but the month.
Yeah. All right. Well, that takes us through our fan stuff. Thank you guys for all of the submissions. And let's see, like beyond just submitting and having your work featured, we do have a hobby challenge that goes on regularly in our Discord. So one more reason to join the Discord. Every month, whoops, I'm like taking you starting at the end. Let's start at the beginning of the rules. So every month there's going to be a new theme that you would submit an entry to. It can be anything. It doesn't have to be a painted mini. Imagine that. All you have to do to enter is tag your picture of your mini with crowing for it. And at the end of every month, it is the end of May. We haven't chosen a winner yet. Kate, you and I need to vote right after this stream. So we are still choosing the winner for May, but that winner will receive a Discord emoji title, and you also get to boss Soups around for a little bit. He is painting a Castle and Crow mini divided into 12 parts. It's going to look crazy because every different winner gets to decide how each part looks, and then we'll send you a physical prize. And then at the end of the year, we vote on our best overall, and you get to take home that crazy looking crow miniature. This month's theme is travel.
Yay.
Yeah, it's the start of the summer. We all have travel plans, hopefully, if we're doing something fun. And so, yeah, interpret that however you see fit, and we will vote on it. Kate, are you doing anything fun this summer? You going anywhere?
No plans. Just trying to get some pool time in, try and get some hiking, just try and have a very outdoorsy summer, which is usually how I like it. I am kind of a lizard. I like being outside.
Kind of a lizard. All right, smooth one, that poll. We have one poll left, guys. This is the most important of them all. So don't forget to vote. Here it comes. Yeah, our travel plans are centered around Warhammer.
Oh, nice.
So,
yeah, naturally.
Yeah, we are going to Old Town Throwdown. That's in August. So that's down in Southern California. That'll be a drive. We are going to Nova, which is on the East Coast in the Washington, D.C. area. That we are flying to.
That'll be fun.
What else? There we go. Starting the last poll. Here we go. And is that it? That might be it for the summer for us.
That's busy though.
Oh, we're going to Monterey for a weekend.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. In July,
Love
early
it.
July.
Cute.
Welcome, El Rufador. Good to see you guys. There's some gray names in chat. Welcome them. Do I visit the UK anytime? Okay. Actually, you've never been either, so I don't feel as bad. You told me already.
I've never been.
I outed you. I've never left this continent. Like, I've never... Yeah.
There's a lot to see on this
There is.
continent. To be fair,
Yeah.
this is a very big continent, and
big.
the United States
really
is
big.
a very, very large country with a lot of a lot of things to see within it. So don't feel too bad that you haven't left.
I don't.
Yeah, great. As you should not.
No, I don't have a passport because when I was a kid, like, you didn't need one to go to Mexico or Canada. I've been to Mexico and Canada. Barely Mexico, but still. And so I'm going to actually go get my passport, I think in like 2 weeks. I have an appointment
fun.
finally.
Nice.
So I'm trying, I'm not promising, but I'm hoping that I can make this happen next April. Like, get out to the UK. I'd love to see it. That looks like a cheaper time to go without the weather being too crazy. And yeah, I don't just want to go to London. I need to go to London to like work out of my office. The company I work for is office. But I do want to sightsee a little bit. I'll take a few days off if and when I go and do this. What else? I want to go to Nottingham, of course, see like Games Workshop proper. But other than that, yeah, I just want to see people. Like I have friends over there now. So I will make it happen. I just don't know when. Don't worry. Don't worry. What else should I see while I'm out there? UK fam. What else should Kate and I both see when we go visit? Let's see.
West Bridgeford.
What's West Bridgeford? Sheffield. What's Sheffield? What are these things?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is there to see in these places?
Amsterdam. Well, I'm not going to Amsterdam anytime soon. I would go to the UK first. Oh, looks like sets from Lord of the Rings. Nice. I would love that. All right, gang. We are coming up towards the end. Oh, it's where Matt Rose lives. That's great. I think we got to show where we're at. How much time do you need to get? Would you like to get to a good spot, Kate? It's okay. You're fine. I'm not gonna finish. Mine's not finished. Not to stress you out.
Okay.
So don't worry about that.
I'm gonna need more tips on how to make this face pop, but I'm actually feeling pretty good about the rest of it. I think that his shirt is kind of coming together. I need to paint over some areas where I kind of got paint that I didn't want paint, but I'm actually for our first go, it's not that bad.
Yeah, how has this been so far for you?
Yeah, it's enjoyable. I love crafting, love painting, so
yeah,
this is just a nice way to paint. Also, you guys have great supplies, so
great.
That really helps.
Shame as I've only just found you. Well, we'll find you. I mean, I'll come visit, and when that happens, there will be plenty of notice so that we can plan a hangout day, because I would love to, I want to go to these places to really meet you guys that are over there, because otherwise when is that going to happen? And yeah, that's why I like doing this, because I like the people. Yeah. Cool. We're going to end this poll. We are done with this poll. Do I do this regularly? Are you talking about the stream, Al Rufador? I can throw the schedule up really quick while I run through the poll, end the poll for us. But this is our typical schedule. So we do hobby hangouts every Wednesday and Sunday. So I will say yes, we do this regularly. Yeah. Nice to have met you too. All right. So we ended our last poll, and we need to do some calculations to assemble the data. Let's see. What was it? It was fungus. Okay. So, while that's tabulating, we can take a look at our minis under under the Lumix. So, how's it going, Kate? And I will get the focus going on this thing. What do you think so far?
So we've got his pants. I actually like the color of the pants turned out. It's got his brown boots. Once this axe dries, I'm going to add some blood detail to the very tip of it. And then I was working on doing some teeny tiny little plaid on his shirt. So that was fun.
Yeah.
I like the tiny brushes so you can do that detail.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely some trial and error happening on trying to get his face skin tone working. Right now he kind of looks like a bronze statue, but
Sure.
I think working on the flesh tones
Yeah.
will help me a lot. But I'm actually pretty pleased with how the pants came out, which is
It looks nice.
kind of funny. Yeah.
I think at this point for the face, like what I would do if it were me, and I'm going to end up doing this too, and I've already kind of done it with my stripes, is at this point with the face, I would stop using contrast paints, and I would just grab some of our opaque, like flesh colored paints and just start doing that, building up those layers with that paint.
That makes sense.
But I think this is great. Like you got most of the work done with contrast paints, and it was your first time, and you did it in front of an audience.
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased.
Yeah. Here's how Beetlejuice is going. He still needs some work. I want to make his hair, this is where I would switch to opaques. So I'm going to make his hair like yellow, like it's right there. There's a base of green, so I'll pull it out with yellow. And then I want to go get into the stripes and clean them up a bit more. Also, his hands are not white. I need to like do a flesh colored wash on those. But yeah, I'll probably do that, and I'll probably correct the lighting a bit more because right now it's kind of just wherever. But there we go.
I'm so impressed, Megan. It looks
Thank
so
you.
good. Oh my God.
Look, they're
Look at
friends.
this.
Look, we love each other. All right, gang. We're just about done, but we do need to show you what we had planned for all of those polls. And so let's do that really quick. Thank you for the hearts. All right, Kate, are you ready for this?
So ready.
Here we go. Now, Kate's a writer.
As Megan mentioned.
And she's a good one. And you guys had to help her out with our big Mad Lib.
I know. Sometimes I just get writer's block, and I just need a poll of 20 to 30 people to help me figure it out. So
here we go.
Here we
Without
go.
further ado.
Megan wanted to paint her model today, but she ate her painting supplies.
As I am known to do.
She decided to use blood instead of paint. What a clever girl. First, she creamed a yogurt, and wow, it looked old. She put a monkey's paw on another model, and just for fun, shaved a matte rose for hours.
Oh, I love that. I'm glad we ended up with Matt Rose there.
Me too.
It could have been weird.
Zach came into first base and couldn't believe his belly button. Megan, I am so stiff, he said. You are the most smooth fungus I've ever met.
Yay! Hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope you guys enjoyed a little bit of story time there at the end. Yeah, this was great. I hope it flew by for you.
Oh my gosh, it was so fast.
I had a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Thanks you guys for being in chat. Thanks for the laughs. Thank you for the super chats. Welcome, Gray Names. Hope you guys check us out in the Discord. And as we like to say around here, be kind to yourselves, be kind to each other, and always be creating. Bye.